Next, let's discuss what we do during the class in terms of teaching and communicating. The biggest problem I see with instructors is silent gaps. Communication is key in this industry, and in this tutorial I want to address what to say, how to give feedback, how to provide motivation, how to observe intensity and keep energy high in class, timing and counting reps, and to address your body language. As always, the things I will be discussing here never change, irrespective of the type of fitness or even the phase of class that you're in. Just like the instructions and the demonstration skills that we've already addressed, the during class skills stay consistent, even if you're in the warm-up phase, the main phase, or the cool down. The skill set stays the same. The type of fitness can change or the phase of class can change, but the skill set stays the same. Okay, looking at what to say, the biggest problem when it comes to communicating verbally during the workout is that people and instructors are only looking for their participants to be making mistakes. Your job when your clients are working out is for you to continuously communicate. Your strategy for communication should be the same. Focus on movement cues, safety and alignment, education, motivation, and anticipatory cues. Once the group are moving, you then deliver this communication. You start with the movement cues. You reinforce safety and alignment. You explain why you're asking the group to do it through your education tools. Motivation cues come in the form of what you say, your body language, and your visual communication, while anticipatory cues refers to counting down the time or telling the group how many reps that you have left. Okay, example time. Pay attention to how this instructor gets the group moving ASAP, and then once the group are started after his demonstration, he communicates non-stop through movement cues, safety and alignment, education, and his body language talks nothing but motivation, and then he cues down anticipatory cues.
Moving to barbell. You need a barbell to start off with. Here's the best part. You only have to do each exercise once, and we're only going one round through. Barbell. First exercise, clean lunge, reset back. Advanced option, clean, press into your lunge before you reset. Got it? I like that. Pick up your barbell. I like that. Me too, brother. 3. Me too. Let's go.
1.
Clean lunge, base option, and if you're feeling good, add a press. Catch it in your lunge, drop under the bar, raise your reps hard. Yep. 25 seconds here. We're gonna work on integrating the lower body and the upper body. So think about stabilizing the abs, brace your abs as you press, and then get full range of motion from down to up. Yeah, John, I know you love this work, brother. Good stuff. Move 2. Check this out. Squat clean. Option, advance. Grab your bench, set up, eyes up. Squat clean, jump up. Squat clean, jump up.
3, 2,
Hit it.
1.
Drop, lift, drop, and lift. Keep your eyes on this. Even when he's taking the avant on the base option, it's moving non-stop. And that's where the high intensity work comes from. Pushing through fatigue, this. Nice hair, by the way.
So the example that I've just shown you shows the movement cues, safety and alignment, education and motivational cues, as well as counting down the anticipatory cues that we've just spoken about before the example. But what's really noticeable with this instructor is how he never leaves that gap. He's always communicating, he's always providing that context, he's always connecting with his clients. He delivers excellent and exceptional movement cues, safety and alignment, and delivers exceptional educational cues. Also, what I want you to pay attention to in that example is how much energy and how much pizzazz that instructor walks around the room with. This is how we deliver those motivational cues. It's not just what we say, it's the tone of voice with how we say it. It's our body language, it's the energy we move around the room, it's how we connect through our facial expressions, through the glint in our eyes, through smiling at our customers. You can see in this example that the instructor doesn't get much opportunity to do the anticipatory cueing, which is 5 seconds to go, 4 seconds to go, simply because the nature and this sample class is an online production. But you can see that throughout it's an excellent example on demonstration of really good during the circuit teaching skills. Let's look first. He uses the verbal description of clean lunge to demonstrate and explain the movement.
First exercise, clean lunge, reset back. Advanced option, clean, press into your lunge before you reset. Got it?
I like that.
Pick up your barbell. I like that. Me too, bro.
3,
Me too. Let's go.
1.
Clean lunge, base option, and if you're feeling good, add a press. Catch it in your lunge, drop under the bar, raise the reps hard. Yep. 25 seconds here. We're gonna work on integrating the lower body and the upper body. So think about stabilizing the abs, brace your abs as you press, and then get full range of motion from down to up. Yeah, John, I know you love this work, brother. Good stuff. Move 2. Check this out. Squat clean. Option, advance. Grab your bench, set up, eyes up. Squat clean, jump up. Squat clean, jump up.
3, 2,
Hit it.
1.
Drop, lift, drop, and lift. Keep your eyes on this. Even when he's taking the avant on the base option, he's moving non-stop. And that's where the high intensity work comes from. Pushing through fatigue, this. Nice hair, by the way.
That's a real top example of those key teaching skills: movement cues, safety and alignment, education and motivation. But also what we get from this instructor is that positive connection that he does through his body language, through not just what he says but the tone in which he says it. That leads us nicely into our next point, which is that body language. Our body language is what people see. It's the energy with which we move in the room, in the space. It's the smile on our face. It's a twinkle in our eye. It's moving with confidence, it's moving with purpose, it's moving with energy. All of this portrays and communicates to our clients. It's really important throughout your teaching that you convict positive body language. You'll see that up to now, the movement cues, safety and alignment, the education and the motivation cues are all positive. My biggest pet peeve is that instructors only look for people to be making mistakes, and if they don't see a mistake in the class, they find they have nothing to say and they over rely on, that's it, well done. You can see from this instruction example that I've put up that the instructor isn't looking to find fault with any of the clients there, but he's using positive encouragement and positive words to describe the movement cues, safety and alignment and education. This is your go-to setting when it comes to teaching. However, what do you do when you see a mistake and how do you give feedback is the next topic that we're going to outline here. Correcting people who are doing improper technique or putting themselves at risk is your job. However, it is important that we never make someone feel embarrassed or feel that they're not part of the group. Think back to the earlier part of this module where we outlined that one of the core values to people coming to your class is they feel like they belong. Identifying mistakes is tricky, and you don't want to ever make someone feel unconfident or that they're incompetent when it comes to doing a move. Our advice when you're given feedback is to first address the mistake with the entire group. Don't address it as, Mary, do this correctly. Address it by emphasizing the correct technique. If the person doing the improper technique still hasn't copped on and improved their technique, perhaps you can use their name. Make eye contact with them and then reinforce the correct technique through your demonstration and through your words. Correct safety and alignment. Emphasize the movement cues. If the person still hasn't corrected, at that point you may go down beside them and mirror the action with them. Perhaps with this they will be able to pick up on your cues. Your job is not to make them stand out. They don't want to be embarrassed and they don't want to be highlighted. So make sure that when you're given that observation and correction, you do it subtly, with empathy and with kindness. When it comes to monitoring the intensity of the class, your job is to make sure that it's pitched at the correct intensity. Not too lenient, but not too hard. You as the instructor must guide the participants. What really works well is the effort scale of 1 to 10. Perhaps you want to outline some training zones. Zone 1 is where you're out of breath. Zone 2 is where you could maintain a full conversation. And Zone 3 is where you don't feel out of breath. You can come up with your own zones according to what works for you. Of course, with modern technology, we now have a million ways in which we can track intensity and heart rate through class. We've got the polar monitors, we've got the MyZones, and of course most people now have a wearable technology that will tell them their heart rate, tell them their training zones, and it's up to you to make the best use of these and incorporate them into your class where and when you feel appropriate. As an instructor, one of the best ways is to create those zones and describe how a person should feel when they're in each of those zones. Then you can encourage your customer to get into the green zone, the red zone, or the orange zone, or Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. One rule of thumb that I really want you to pay attention to is sometimes you'll have people who are overcooking it, who are burning the candle at both ends. It's important as their instructor that you try taper them back so they avoid injury. Last but not least, I want to draw your attention to timing. In today's age, nobody should be without a timer. The best and most convenient is to download an interval timer for your phone. However, interval timers will display the numbers in a large font on your phone. There is no way you need to be walking around with your eyes put in the phone. A clock with a countdown timer is not a big investment. Many gyms will have these at this stage, but if you wanted to invest in one for your own personal classes, you should. Do not walk around with your eyes in the phone. If your eyes are in your phone, that means you're not connecting and communicating with your clients. If you're not communicating and connecting with your clients, you've lost the room. You've lost the control. You've lost that energy. You've lost that positivity, and you've lost your customers.